Well, good morning and evening to you all. I hope that you all have had a blessed time in your word this week so far with Brother Ryan, and that he has already this week shared something that will benefit and bless your soul. I'm joining you today, and I want to read for you this morning, well, morning for me, whatever time it may be for you, from Psalm 139. I read this in my personal Bible study this last week, and I made a note that I wanted to read it for you all today as well, because it just spoke to me, and it reached me at a place where I needed to hear it, and I wanted to just share it with you as well. It's a little bit longer. There are 24 verses in this psalm, so it'll be a little bit more reading, but for me, it was worth it, and I hope it will be for you as well, as we see how God reaches and knows us in every part of our inward being, and how he can speak to us with authority in the deep parts of our hearts. So I want to read that for us. This is for the choir director, a psalm of David, and would have been meant to be sung. It says, "Lord, you have searched me and know me. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. You understand my thoughts from far away. You observe my travels and my rest. You are aware of all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know all about it. You have encircled me. You have placed your hand on me. This wondrous knowledge is beyond me. It is lofty, and I am unable to reach it." I want to stop and just mention, isn't it so fitting that as we try to seek to become closer with God and enrich that oneness, the closer we get to him, the more we realize there is of him to get to know. David was certainly someone who God said chased after his own heart, was a man after his own heart. But David regularly admitted to his shortcomings and how far he fell short of God's standard. And part of that is that as we get closer to God, we come to know just how radiantly, beautifully, magnificently beyond our understanding and ability to compare he truly is. And so the psalmist understands that God knows everything even before we begin to say it. And this then turns to the trying to find a way to escape God sometimes when we feel guilty, or maybe when we want to retreat from him. It says, verse 7, "Where can I go to escape your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I live at the eastern horizon or settle in the western limits, even there your hand will lead me. Your right hand will hold on to me. If I say, surely there is darkness will hide me, and the light around me will be night, even in the darkness, you are there. The night shines like the day. The darkness and light are alike to you." Catch that. He says the darkness and the light. There might as well not be a difference between darkness and light with you, God. That is how all-knowing you are. There is no difference between day and night to you. "For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wonderfully made." There is no darker place in all the world for an infant than in that mother's womb. It's a place of comfort, but also a place of pure darkness. And even in that darkness, it says that God knew David, and he knows us as well. "Your works are wondrous, and I know this very well. My bones were not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was formed in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All my days were written in your book and planned before a single one of them began. God, how precious your thoughts are to me, how vast their sum is. If I counted them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I wake up, I am still with you." Sometimes as well, when we're far away from God or we are in darkness, sometimes we think that maybe God doesn't see us or doesn't remember us or know where we are. Let this be a comfort to us that God doesn't forget us either. His knowledge and his thoughts are always churning, always having an answer, even when we don't feel like he's there. Verse 19, God, if only you would kill the wicked, you bloodthirsty men, stay away from me, who invoke you deceitfully. Your enemies swear by you falsely. Lord, don't I hate those who hate you and detest those who rebel against you? I hate them with extreme hatred. I consider them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my concerns. See if there is any offensive way in me. Lead me in the everlasting way. Sometimes God's anger is the thing that we see or that we need in a moment when we're facing uphill against oppression. And David understands that even though he feels alone by God because he's being cornered by Absalom and Absalom's men, he is not truly alone. And this is his confession that God is there. And this is our cry to say, Father, we know you are there. We know this is hard. We know that it seems that there is no end, but you are still good. We will hate those who hate you and love those who love you, just as David says he'll do. Then we can also ask God a very dangerous request. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my concerns. I wonder if you and I would be brave enough to say, God, know my heart. Know it exactly where it is. Know exactly what I'm thinking right now. If I was honest, I would say that thought terrifies me a good bit. To know that God would know my exact every thought. Makes you wonder, what are you thinking about right now? What have you thought about this morning so far? Would you want God to know your inmost thought? If not, deal with that now. In the time you have left, in the time that you spend with Him and His Word, ask Him to know your thoughts, to know your heart, and trust Him. I'll see you guys later.